Hello, students. We'll get back to the continuation of the operations management class. In the last class, we have discussed, what are the various stages of the product when actually it is in the market, right? So, whenever the product, after going through so many changes, when it is introduced into the market, nobody knows. Awareness will not be there for the customers about that product. You call that the introduction stage. So this is the stage actually very, very critical, which decides the future of that particular product, which generates the revenue to the company. So after facing turbulent conditions in that stage, the next stage is going to be growth, and the next stage is going to be maturity level, and slowly the product going to be very, very familiar in the maturity level. So many competitive products will be there, and most of the times if the companies are unable to change about their the facilities, whatever they are providing in that product, they will decline from the market. And you know very well, a few years back, Nokia was the number one as far as the mobile market is concerned. But because of lack of research and development activities, so many other competitors got into the mobile market and faded. The sales of the Nokia phones were faded, and now again they are relaunching that product. Again, it's going to be very, very difficult. There are so many examples. If you observe, if you really read the newspaper, business news, you will come to know various stages, isn't it? Now, besides all these things, today we are going to understand one more type of cycle. You call that one as the process life cycle. Don't confuse. Earlier what we had discussed is product life cycle. Now this one is the process life cycle. Both will be PLC only. Product life cycle also will be generally denoted by PLC. Process life cycle also will be denoted by PLC only. Okay. But being the expert in that particular subject, you have to understand that major difference or main difference between product life cycle and process life cycle. Generally, the product life cycle related to the sales of the market, or the sales of the product, or the production of that particular product in terms of volume is concerned. But whereas the process life cycle is concerned, how actually you are producing the wanted product, which ultimately leads to the satisfaction for a customer when he uses your product, isn't it? So as far as the process life cycle is concerned, there are 3 stages. Don't confuse. The first stage is the early stage. The second one is called the middle stage. The third one is called the mature stage. Whereas the product life cycle has got 4 stages. One is introductory stage. The second one is the growth stage. The third one is the maturity stage. And the final one is the fourth one, decline stage. But here, what is this? This one is a process life cycle. So under process life cycle, you got 3 stages. One is called the early stage, the middle stage, the next one, and the mature stage is the last stage. Okay. Now we'll discuss all together what are these process life cycles. And when you are discussing the process life cycles, you should connect these process life cycles the way you what to call produce the products, the manufacturing processes. Have to be very careful the terminology. The manufacturing processes of the physical product. What are those? Like job shop process is there, like batch production is there, like what to call the continuous production is there, and the project production is there, isn't it? So these are the various types of the products how you produce. All those techniques you are using in this process life cycle. Keep aside product life cycle. Under product life cycle, about the sales of the product we discuss. But whereas the process life cycle is concerned, how you are producing the product. Now we'll go for the first stage, what you call that one as the early stage. Early stage, what kind of the production method you have to use whenever you are what you called newly starting the producing of a product. What do you call that one as the early stage? The best example I can take here, the confectionery item sellers, the bakery person. As you know very well, when a person started a bakery business, okay, let us suppose that in a highly dense population area he starts a bakery. So in the beginning itself, he don't know what kind of items the people, the customers are going to prefer in that particular area. Okay. What do you call that early stage? So whenever early stage is there, the business is concerned, he has to what you call produce variety kinds of products with limited in number. Like let us suppose that cakes are there, different types of cakes are there, like chocolate mix cake is there, okay, and pineapple flavor cake is there, isn't it? And strawberry cake is there. All only strawberry cakes you cannot produce because you don't know what kind of sales are there about that strawberry flavor is concerned, like chocolate, like other things. So here under early stage, most of the times he will be having somewhat variety products but less in number. So that kind of production process is going to operate. Okay. So now, so let us see here what is that early stage. So whenever the early stage is there, the production method is going to apply job shop. What do you mean a job shop? A job shop is the what you call the physical product production method where you are producing the goods in small in number in terms of groups. Very highly skillful activities are required. To prepare a pizza, altogether new operations are required. A new way of mixing the dough is required. To prepare a cake, you require fermentation, dough mix, a different mixing up of the yeast. Do you know yeast? It's a kind of bacteria, friendly bacteria to humankind. Otherwise, the fermentation will not take place. So what kind of production process they use when the product is in the early stage job shop? So more varieties would be there, what I was telling. Because in that particular area, let us suppose that school zone is there. School children will altogether prefer a variety kind of things. So as per school children are concerned, as per my observation, they will be having, meager amount as far their pocket money is concerned. And also they have some restrictions. And if the bakery is in a college zone, generally grown up people like you all, most of the time you maintain good pocket money. You will be in a position to even purchase, a product, a eatable item with what is called high cost, isn't it? So based upon that area, they mix up what you call variety kinds. But each kind should be low in number. It takes some time to settle down in that particular area. Day wise, week wise, month wise, they take what you call information. Yes, in Wednesday, these kinds of items are going to be sale more. In weekends, these kinds of items are going to sell more. So it takes some time to come to a rough conclusion that yes, pizza sales are going to be more in weekends. In the mid of the week, let us suppose that what you call any particular bakery item sales are going to be more. But as far as early stage is concerned, that production manager or else that bakery wala will not be having control over suppliers, because bakery items are also required a lot more raw material, like dough is required, vegetables are required, because he is new to that area, he is slowly started having that relationships. So what do you call this? Under process life cycle stage, the first stage, early stage, isn't it? The second one, what do you call this? Middle stage, 6 months, 1 year time. By then what happens? That bakery person will have more familiarity with that locality, existing area, and he will be in a position to understand day by day, week by week, what kind of customers are going to visit to purchase their bakery products, isn't it? So then what happens? Slowly he will be in a stage to conclude that for XYZ products, for XYZ cakes, more sales are there. He will increase the volume of that particular confectionery items, bakery items. Generally the process, what they use here is nothing but the batch processing. Batch means huge in number. Let us take glucose biscuits are there, Britannia, Sunfeast. They will not produce in terms of tens, but they produce in terms of hundreds, thousands. While eating any item, observe the information whatever is there on the wrapper. They will give the batch number, they will mention the what you call manufacturing date, expiry date also. Every detail will be there. I think few years back one real time situation, I came to know that I think in the Kerala, earlier some 10 to 15 years back, at that time Captain Cook by name, one cooking salt used to be sale in the market. Okay, in Kerala one day one household woman opened that Captain Cook salt, cooking salt, and while mixing in that particular recipe, she came to know that few glass pieces. You know very well the glass pieces almost merges with what you call that salt crystals. It's very difficult to identify, to differentiate. But she could able to identify the difference. She came what you called suit in the court against that particular Captain Cook salt production producers. Such a way if you take, how come that happened? Immediately that particular manufacturer stopped that particular batch of all the items throughout the area wherever it was reached. That's why batch number is very, very important. Even if you take the medicals, tablets, tonics, whatever you take, they will mention that batch number. So batch wise they will be releasing in the market. If such kind of unwanted things happen, they will be in a position, they trace out what kind of batch is there in which kind of geographical area of the market. So what I am giving here about the process life cycle, that to the second stage, what you call that middle stage. So in the middle stage, what happens, that bakery person will be having more familiarity with that locality, and he would be in a position to detect the sales of any particular item. Based upon that, he may be in a position to increase the production of that particular bakery item. That's why the kind of manufacturing process he may be used there, the batch process. What is that? Under middle stage, the automation is also going to play a major role. But in automation, most of the time, prefixed order would be there. A what you call vegetable cutter would be there, a mixer would be there, a baking kind of machinery would be there, and after that what you call putting into different trays neatly. What you call that automation. So human involvement is going to be minimized. Just for one or two products, you cannot have the automation. It's a costly affair. So by the time that bakery person reaches to middle stage, he will be having that automation, and production volume also increases, especially for few kinds of items are concerned. You take samosa, everybody prefers, isn't it? And that puffs, curry puff or something is there, egg puffs, isn't it? So you take any bakery item, these are the standard items. Generally these items will be available more in volume. Okay. And also by now what happens, more control will be there over suppliers. He will develop a strong connection with the vegetable supplier and other raw material supplier. And also very, very important, the production cost per unit also declines. Generally what happens, if one or two products, if you want to produce, the production cost is going to be more. More number of products, if you produce, the production cost is going to be less. If you take to produce a 5 rupee coin individually is a more than 5 rupees, but its face value is only 5 rupees. But that 5 rupee coins in multitude, that what you call particular Indian government is going to produce. Not only 10 5 rupees coins or 100 5 rupees coins. What you call that? More in number. More in number always declines the actual production cost. Now you go for the last stage. What you call that? The mature stage. So almost 3-4 years would be there in the market for that particular bakery person. He knows each and every operator regarding that business only. He will be having more connections, more grip in that particular locality. And you know weekdays, and every weekday how much stock need to be maintained. Everything will be what to call, before itself planning would be there. So based upon the situation, most of the time the production process can be used there is continuous process. Continuous means producing large in number. So what is about automation? Complete automation most of the times. More automation and standardized production process. Prefixed operations would be there. Standardization means prefixed. Just you give the inputs and automatically output will be coming out. You need not to change the machine setups or raw material involvement every time. Standardized for entire day operations, for entire week operations. Only same product will be manufactured. We take Maruti cars only. Okay? As for mid-range cars are concerned, you know very well Swift is very, very famous. Under Swift, X stands for petrol, LXI, VXI, ZXI. D stands for diesel version, like LDI, VDI, ZDI. Altogether 3 plus 3, 6 models. For all these 6 models, what is the difference? Same chassis would be there. What is a chassis? That is skeleton structure of the car. Everything will be same kind of doors they fix up, same kind of electrical item they fix up. What changes would be there? In major part, like engines will change. Petrol engine is different, diesel engine is different, and few exclusive electrical comforts are concerned, there also changes would be there. So as far as the basic things are concerned, everything is going to be standardized, more automation. Okay? What do you call that? Standardized means that based upon the types of the products, prefixed order would be there. So this is called the last stage of the what we call the process life cycle. What is that? Mature stage. So before that, what is that? Middle stage, and the first one is the early stage. So how many stages are there in the process life cycle? 3 stages are there. One is early stage, the second one is the middle stage, and the third one is called mature stage. Don't confuse. Process life cycle is different, product life cycle is different. Product life cycle is related to the market, sales, whereas the process life cycle is nothing but conversion of the raw material into a valuable product based upon the sales. Okay. Now see here comparison. So how many stages are there under process life cycle? 3 stages are there. And whereas the product life cycle are concerned, 4 stages are there. Then what is that interface between process life cycle and product life cycle? Okay? Very, very important. Both are interconnected. If more sales of the product are there, based upon that the adjustment should be there in the production area. Without adjustments in the production area, the marketing person cannot give what you called order for that particular XYZ person who wants that particular product. So there should be a connection between a production manager and as well as the marketing manager. So you call that one as an interface, face to face, how they are going to connect. So that is called the last discussion as far as what you call this unit is concerned. What do you call this? Interface between process and product life cycles. Both are interrelated. You call this product process matrix also. Different names. Explain product to process matrix. So what is that? First point reveals you product to process mix or matrix helps us understand why and how manufacturing organizations change their production operations. A coffee producer would be there, coffee powder. Winter is going to come, more sales will be there, so you should increase that production of the coffee powder. Beverages producer would be there, Coca-Cola, Thumbs Up. Consumption will decrease. In the winter season, beverages sales will decrease. Then the company should adjust to the existing sales of that particular product in the market. That's why both are interconnected. With the changes in products, market requirements and competition, the equipments, processes, procedures and human resource skills also will change. If more products are required in the market, more production is required in the company actually. How do you increase the production? You need to increase the machinery. You need to increase the human resources. You need to purchase more raw material. That's why both are again interconnected. If process changes are not carried out to accommodate process life cycles, products and process becomes incompatible, resulting in competitive disadvantage. Both are neck to neck, side by side, if they are not moving like a railway track. And finally, the company is going to perish. Based on the sales, production should be there. Based on the production, sales requirement should be created. Okay. So what do you call this one? This is known as the interface between process and product life cycles. Okay. Generally, what do you mean by that? So if you take in few words that interface, product life cycles and process life cycles are interdependent and each affect the other. Both are different, but both are having their influence on each other. Okay, in a family, every person is an individual, but one family member's life affects other family members also. Same way, the product life cycle influences the product life cycle. The product life cycle, that means 4 stages, are influenced by the process life cycle, 3 stages. So there is no fixed movement would be there as far as what to call the production or process operations are concerned. So what do you mean by that? Seldom do production process move continuously along the ideal diagonal. So this is called the interface between product life cycle and process life cycle. And let us see a graph. Okay. Now see here graph. So if complex and high kind of products are there, that one of its kind, then what is the best product manufacturing process? You can project process. Say a batch process, when it matches more number of products with moderate volume, disconnect line and flow moderate. So this is a graphical representation of the product and process matrix. This is a product process matrix in terms of the volume is concerned. High variety is required. Okay. What is the best one? Should go for job shop, but low in volume. See that. So medium, both in terms of variety, in terms of the volume. So batch production or mass production, both things can be applied. Low in terms of variety, but high in terms of items, number of items, volume. So what is the methodology you can apply? Continuous production. What do you call this one as the product process matrix or product process mix? Very, very important question. So here ends your unit 1, and I will give important questions also. So these are the very, very important large answer questions. Explain about scope of operations management. Okay. And basic manufacturing processes like welding, cutting, shearing, all these things. Agile and lean manufacturing. What is agility? Keeping in view the customer's opinion. Operation strategy. Product and process life cycle. So last discussion. Okay. And also short answer questions, very, very important. So important means, doesn't mean that you should read only these questions. Focus more on these questions. Okay. Actually in PG level, it's not the way to give large answers, small answer questions, short answer questions like this. You're all matured people. You should be in a position to answer any kind of question. content is important, subject is important. But anyhow, again, few people will come to me, I know that. So before itself I am giving. So what are the examples? I mean to say important questions as far short answer questions are concerned. Define operations management. Explain about job shop and batch processes. Product manufacturing, PPC. Okay, casting, welding. Okay. So here ends our the unit 1. Thank you so much.